We're going to start by talking about the pieces of an angle. First, you've got your vertex. And then that is the point where the angle is rotating from. Then you've got your initial side. This is the ray where the angle starts. And then you're going to rotate your angle. Angles measure rotation, and that rotation is measured by wherever the terminal side hits or lands. So you've got an initial side of an angle, a terminal side of the angle, and the vertex. Those are the pieces of the angle. Now, if we are going to rotate the angle, we're going to want the angle in standard position. Okay, so standard position, 1, the vertex is at the origin. 2, the initial side is on the positive x-axis. 3, the rotation is positive if you move counterclockwise. And it is negative rotation if you move clockwise. So here's what I mean. When you're looking at the x and y axis, if I want to plot an angle, I'm going to start with my vertex at the origin, and I'm going to start with my initial side on the positive x, and then I'm going to rotate it. So if it's a positive angle, I'm going to rotate it counterclockwise and then draw my terminal side. So that would be positive rotation. And if I had a negative angle, I would start in the same location. So I'd have my vertex at the origin, my initial side on the positive x, but I would be rotating clockwise to a terminal position, to my terminal side. And so that is negative rotation. Next, we're going to talk about quadrants. So when you look at the x and the y axis, you have 4 quadrants. You've got quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. And that moves counterclockwise in the positive direction. So in your quadrant boundaries are 0 degrees is on the positive x, then 90 degrees is your positive y. 180 degree rotation would terminate on the negative x. A 270 degree rotation would terminate on negative y. And if you go all the way around back to where you started, that's a 360 degree rotation. So with that in mind, we're going to make sketches of these angles. So starting with 360, I've got a vertex at the origin, initial side on the positive x, and then I'm going to show my rotation with a curved line showing that 360 is all the way around. So then my terminal side is overlapping my initial side. So that's a graph of that. 90 degrees. I'm going to draw my x and my y axis. I'm going to put the vertex at the origin, the initial side on the positive x, and rotate 90 degrees in the positive direction, which means the terminal side of my angle is going to land on the positive y-axis. So that is a graph of 90 degrees. 540 degrees is more than one time around the circle. So you're going to think about, first put initial side and vertex, and then you're going to go around 360 degrees, and then you're going to have to go another 180 degrees to add up to 540. So it's going to look kind of like a spiral. And so then my terminal side is on the negative x-axis. 135, but negative direction. So you're still going to start in the same location, vertex at the origin, initial side on the positive x, but you're going to rotate negative past the 90, but not quite 180. That's going to land in quadrant 3. So we're terminating in quadrant 3, but we're rotating in the opposite direction, so clockwise. 150, we're positive again. So you're going to start on the positive x-axis and the origin. You're going to rotate counterclockwise past 90, not quite to 180. 150 is going to land in quadrant 2.